Hello, hello. How's it going, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Are you guys seeing this nonsense? Are you guys looking at this? Absolute annoyance. That's what's going on. Just put the blindfolds on and keep on buying, I guess. What the hell? I mean, well, these idiots can't even define what a woman is. I won't be surprised if they can define what a recession is nowadays. It's fucking annoying. What the hell? Now the news medias are covering, they don't even know. I mean, everyone is asking what's the definition of recession, because the gaslighting has gone so far enough that they don't even know, they want to question what a recession is. Absolutely unreal. Well, the market is opened, so let's see how the rest of the day goes. We opened above 401.44 in SPY, so as long as 401.44 holds its support, there you have it. We can push higher. So we are watching Meta here for potential 156 or 158 test to take the trade. 160 is a psychological support as well, but I like it more at 156 to 150. So those level will give me more probable trade to the bounce. But for SPY, as long as it's above 401.44, the probability of 404 is still higher. So yeah, SPY is popping. Alright, so these are the two stocks which we are watching today. One is SPY, the other is Meta. So if we get 156, I would happily go long for a trade. 158 will be the entry one and 156 will be the entry two. Those are the two numbers which I'm watching for today. So let's see how it goes. So good morning, everyone, and again, thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Have your QQQ puts. What's going on in there? Yeah, QQQ is still below that important 307.41 level. So let's see. Let's see if we can get a test to like 305. Right, Meta is coming down here. If you have QQQ puts, watch out for yesterday's highs. That should be your stops, which should be at 308.44. If you break above yesterday's high, well, get stopped out, I guess. Don't waste your time in the puts because we can push much higher to the next price target at 310. So keep yesterday's highs as your stops, and as long as QQQ is under it, well, that's good. So let's see how the rest of the day goes. QQQ for now is rejected at 307.41. Meta is getting close, so interesting day ahead. Right, Meta gave me 158. So we will be having two different types of entries here. 158 will be entry 1 and 156 will be entry 2. And if whatever small bounces you get, scalp it and then like trade it regarding the same way. So are you taking any trade today? I'm watching Meta. That's just for a scalp, and potentially if I get like 158 levels or 157.83 that levels, I will establish the first position over there, and the next I like it more at 156. So let's see how the rest of the day goes. So those are the two levels which I'm watching for in Meta, 158 and 156. Yeah, it's just a scalp. It's just a day trade. I'm watching for calls for potential bounce at 156 levels. So that's what I'm watching for in Meta for today. So first price number which I'm watching is at around $158, and the next one is at around 156. So let's see. It all depends on what QQQ does as well. So gotta wait and watch. So here we go. We're getting into our first price target here. So let's see if we can get a mini bounce. It's all dependent on QQQ. So good morning, Mario. What's your expiry on Meta calls? It's just a day trade. You can do whatever you want. I'm not in yet. I need 158 or 156. And good morning, Paul. Thank you for being here. So if you're not getting 158 or if you're not getting 156, I won't be taking this trade in the first place. So that's all I'm looking for. So let's just draw this trend line here, which we are having. So we'll put Meta in the spotlight and we'll have the rest on the other side. Meta is down. Let's keep an eye out for SPY. Right, the only thing which is concerning me about this is SPY is still above 401.44. $157.98 will be a perfect place to scalp. Just think of it as an in and out kind of trade. Yeah, that's what we are doing. So we don't have to hold it for much longer. So if we get a bounce from 158 or 160, we can cut the losses we can secure profits when it goes to like 159.50, which is like a $1.50 move. So that's what I'm looking for. Still not getting it, so let's wait and see. I hope the audio is clear today. If it's not, let me know so we can make some changes before we dive deeper. Right, looks like it's just bouncing away. First day of recession. Good morning. Well, they changed the recession. They changed the definition. Didn't you see? The gaslighting has already begun. That's the worst part. It's disgusting, but it is what it is. For the past 100 years, that's how recession has been calculated. Nah, this time it's different, right? Absolute morons. This is the type of world which we live in, I guess. There's no point in complaining about it. Just gotta go with the flow. So today, as I said, if you want to go short on SPY or whatever it is, like there are two numbers which you gotta keep an eye out for. If you want to short SPY, and if you want to short SPY here in particular, your stops should be at yesterday's highs, which is at 402.88. If SPY starts closing candles above 402.88, you can just cut losses immediately. But until it breaks above it, you can hold your shorts to 401.44, and if it breaks below 401.44, it opens doors for 400. So there's always another trade, and there goes Meta. Let's see. Right, 158 is here. Come on, give me that. 157.30. So 157.30 is what we want. Alright, so we gotta wait for the confirmation. Let's see. I love it more at 156, to be honest. So you can, either take one trade here and then like take another trade in 156 and then like completely get stopped out if we break under 155. So let's wait and watch. So if you guys want to take SPY puts, as I said, like watch out for 402.86. That's your pivot. So you can always like get in here and then like get out if SPY breaks above 402.88 or like $403. So if SPY goes under, there's a good risk to reward here. I wanted to show you my trading plan for. Let me see if I can pull up the trading plans which I posted for Meta today. Alright, so let's just do this. Alright, so this is the trading plan which I got for Meta. Entry 1, 158, entry 2, 156. So, I mean, we've been short on Meta since like 172. So, right now 157 and 156 is actually a good spot to take the risk for scalping to the upside. If we break under 156, well, who cares? It's fine. It's like we lose like what, 50 cents or something. So it doesn't matter much. So it's a good risk to reward trade. So let's see how it plays out. And SPY puts are looking really tempting here with the stops at 402.88. So if you guys didn't get in yet, so it'll be a good spot. So it's, your risk to reward is pretty nice. So it's totally up to you guys, but risk to reward is pretty good. But if you break above 402.88, you can always cut losses. Like this, we are risking like what, $1. We have no idea of knowing how much the SPY will drop today. So if we go under 390 or whatever it is today, which is still possible. So. Oh, if you guys want to short Meta, wait for 156 to be taken to the woodsheds. That's what we should be waiting for. 156, if we take on 156 out of the woodsheds, yeah, you can go ahead and very well go short on Meta. But until then, hold your horses. 156 is a strong support. $156 is something where you can try going long on Meta, so that will be a decent risk to reward trade. Alright, so I'll tell you guys why 156 is important. So this is the daily chart, right, of Meta. So you can clearly see where the spot acted as support, which was the bottom of the range around 156 to 155.23. That's the zone which we have been watching for. So if we touch that number and if we start bouncing, now that's pretty good. Right, SPY is pummeling lower here. If you guys got into the puts, hold on to it, don't paper hand it. Just lower your stops along the way. Alright, Meta is getting into our spot here. Alright, I am scalping Meta to the upside from here, and it's a very risky trade. I wouldn't recommend taking it, but it's just a scalp nearing the support. If we get into 156, we can take it and we can just exit it if it breaks under it. So no worries, we're risking 50 cents, that's it. SPY puts is really a good trade for now. We broke under 401.44 as well. 400 will be next. Something to watch out for. So if you guys didn't take it in the morning, this will be a good place to enter. Alright, so I might grab some Meta calls here, which is just for day trading. If it didn't work out, it didn't work out. So let's see. Right, so let's switch to 5-minute charts to see what it's doing. Right, so I need a bounce at least to 157 from here, so that's what I'm expecting. SPY is nearing 400 as well, so it's very much plausible. Let's see. And I'm in. If it didn't go in our favor, if it breaks below 154 or something, we can always get out, no worries. So let's see. SPY at 400 is important as well, so we can keep an eye out for that too. Oh, looks like relentless selling is going on. Just mark this over here, and this is where my stops are gonna be, 154.22. If we break under it, I'm out. So let's see how the day goes, guys. So, SPY is nearing 400 here, something to keep an eye out for. It's a big psychological number as well. Watch out for it, and we might see a bounce all across the board right now at 400. Let's see how it goes. So lows of this candle is 399.71, something to keep an eye out for. 399.71 is important. We can just, oh, there it is. We are 400 on SPY, and the meta, there's a limpy candle to the upside, so let's see if it holds. Just need to test to 157 so I can be out of this shit. We are under the bottom of the channel in meta. Warrants some bounce, high probability wise. If it didn't happen, it didn't happen. It's fine. We can cut the losses for like $1 or $2 mostly. If it did happen, it's a good trade. SPY is nearing the bottom of the channel to test the support. SPY is breaking 400. SPY put missed it, didn't fill it. Well, that's fine. Doesn't matter. Like, I mean, right now if you get it, you're technically risking like $2 to the upside. So it's a really good trade at the open though, not gonna lie, with the stops at the yesterday's highs. Alright, so looks like meta is pummeling down with SPY here. We are still holding. Let's see. Come on, boy, give me that bounce. Right, it's looking kind of weak here. Let's see how it goes. I might consider like scaling out and tightening the stops, because SPY is not looking good. As you can see, we got pummeled down at the 402.48 levels. The next level to watch out for in SPY will be 390. Wait, let me see, what's the next level? 398 will be next if we don't recapture 400 again, so that's something to watch out for. So let's see. There we go, nice green candle, thank you. Bounce, 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 bounce. I'm scaling out a few contracts here on meta. Too risky with SPY looking like this. I'll take what I can get. Right, so I'm putting the stops up to break even on the other contracts, whatever I have. So if I get stopped out at break even, I stopped out at break even. If it pushes higher from here, well, that's a good trade. Stops at 155.33. And I got stopped out. I'm done. Fun. It's fine. Like if you guys still want to hold on to it, it's up to you. But our SPY is not looking good to me, and let's see how the rest of the day goes. So this is still a strong support. We're still sitting at the strong support until it breaks to the downside. If it breaks to the downside, that's all good. We can like consider puts after that, but until then, we are in an important support zone. Alright, enough of my trades. So let's go over some of you guys' trades, like Nvidia puts. Let me see. Alright, if we break under 176, I don't see why not. 176 is important, and 173 is the 5-day moving average in Nvidia. That is important as well. So let's see how it goes. 170, if we break under 174.15, which is the 5-day moving average, I need a test to the AV VWAP, which we bounced exactly at from yesterday. So remember, it's always a possibility that we can erase all the gains what we made yesterday in Nasdaq, which is 4%. It's always a possibility. Don't forget that. So with the SPY, if you guys are not on SPY puts, I mean, if you guys got in at the open at SPY puts, you can lower the stops to $400. So if you think that's too tight of a stops, you can lower it to 401. So if SPY goes upside, you can always capture that $1 move, whatever you guys open the trade at the open. So you can always capture that if it starts pushing higher from here. But if it didn't, well, that's a good thing. You can always let the winners run. So there is a bit of an indecision here from the bulls and the bears. So bulls wants to push it higher, bears want to pummel it down. I would give the high probable chance to bears here considering the trend, but we are in the strong support, but not gonna guess anything at this point. So what are you guys watching for today? Is there any other stock that you guys want me to go over? Let me know in the comment section. So the bond markets did something interesting today morning. I want to talk about it. So as soon as the GDP data came out negative, right? As soon as the GDP data came out negative and the bond market started to price in rate cuts for 2023, they want Federal Reserve to cut the rates because the economy is slowing down, and that is actually bullish because the market is so addicted to the cocaine as it is. So well, they're gonna keep pushing higher if if they get any whiff of a rate cuts announced, because less liquidity is good for economy. But if market is smart enough right now, they will know that that is not a good news, and they will start selling rigorously after that. So let's see. Alright, Meta, you are doing nothing right now. So if you guys are into SPY puts, lower the stops to 400 from 401. So you can capture $2 in gains if it still pushes higher. So it's all about how much you secure. Like, you got the trade right, now you got to make sure of the execution. That's what you need to do. Alright, so QQQ, I gotta see how QQQ is. I like SPY puts more at this zone though. Yeah, QQQ is currently sitting at that support zone at 303.50. If you break under it, then watch out for 301 and 300 to be tested. So if we break under 300, well, we are going to reverse all the gains whatever we made yesterday. We already reversed all the gains whatever we made before Federal Reserve came and opened their mouth. So right now we are looking at 302.50 to 301.80, and we're looking at 300 to the downside. All right, Meta bouncing here, decent bounce from the bottom. If you guys got in, consider selling the rip. That's all I can say, because the market is looking kind of whack. Consider scaling out, consider taking profits at every single green candle which you see. You are in a put. Yeah, that's fine. That's really a good trade because you're playing the dominant trend. So for Netflix. Oh, all right, let me see. Oof, that's an ugly looking chart. Alright, so if you are in a put in Netflix, I would say watch out for 218.69, which is the 5-day moving average. If you break under it, 216 will be next. 216.85. Why 216.85 is here? Let me see. Yep, that's where we had support when we ripped a few months back. So 216.70 to 216.85 is important. If we break under it, we can come lower to run a test to 211 or all the way down to 201.47. So let's see. It all depends on what the broader market does. If QQQ already gave up half of the gains which it had from Federal Reserve minutes last night, so we gotta wait and see. We can reverse almost everything today. I mean, we can be down like 4% today. So if you are in Netflix put, watch out for 216, watch out for what's the lows over here, watch out for 211.84. And if you got in at open, you can lower your stops to like all the way down to 223 or something. So that's the highs of it's the highs which we made on July 21st. A pattern day trade, I'm stuck until tomorrow. Swing puts. Well, there is a way you can secure profits without using pattern day trading. Make sure you have the level 3. Go to menu, right? If you go to menu, make sure you have level 3 for options trading enabled under the options section. Once you do it, if you got into puts today morning and you're just like holding on to it and you're already up like $300-400, let's say you got like 400 puts on SPY, all right? Or let's say you say 402 puts on SPY and you're up like $500 on it already, and instead of holding it until tomorrow and the market gaps up on your face and you can't do anything about it, you can just sell the 401 puts to the downside. Like you can either buy puts and sell puts. I don't know if you're aware of cash secured puts and covered calls. If you've already done it, you know how to sell the calls and sell the puts, right? We are going to merge both of them together. So if you already have 401 puts and if you want to 402 puts, and if you want to secure profits, just sell the one underneath, which is 401. So once you do it, you'll be getting credits. For example, if you paid like $150 to enter the 402 puts and you're up like $500, and now the current contract is sitting at $600 or something, right? And if you sell the 401 puts right now, you'll be getting like, let's say $500 in credit. So technically you not only made your initial investment back, you also secured like $300 in profit. So even if SPY goes higher or whatever it is, if SPY opens at 405 tomorrow, it doesn't matter. You already secured like $500. You don't need day trade to do that. So I would recommend looking into debit spreads. So that's what we're doing right now. So there is a way to cheat the system. This is what it is. All you got to do is sell a contract underneath the strike price of the puts which you got. So that'll do wonders. Alright, so we are holding on to 156 here on Meta. Good job. Pat on the back. Alright, so I just need a test to like 157 or whatever it is. Just give me that and I'll be out of this Meta completely. How low is Meta is going today? As I said, 150, 155, these zones are very important. Until I see 155 breaking down to the downside, I am not going to go too bearish on this. We traded this for longs. I secured profits for like 20-30% or whatever it is, but if I held it I would have made like 60-70, but it doesn't matter. The broader markets are not looking good. But so let's see. So I'm just sending out to the people who ever entered the Meta trade, set your stops to the upside. So if you guys don't want to cut it for small profits or whatever it is, so if you got in over here around me at around 155.29 or whatever it is, you have like a $1 move to the upside. So you can move your stops to 156. So if push above 156 and it's a free trade, so you can just make your initial investment back and you can just like push higher. Is getting a put if it's good if SPY gets rejected at 1,400. Alright, so you can do that. I mean, as I said in the open, if you want to grab a puts on SPY, 402.48 should be your stops. So 402.48, if we break above it, well, you can always cut it for loss. But right now, if you want to take 400 as a stop, go ahead. You can do that. But we didn't close any candles yet, so we got to wait and see, because 400 is a big psychological number. Don't be surprised if they recapture it immediately by this candle close. So it's kind of looking weak, but it's totally up to you. Alright, so that candle is looking good here on Meta. So let's see. So did AMD touch 92 yesterday? Like I was talking about it yesterday morning. Oh yes, they did. Fucking hell. Let me see what's going on. Yep, yesterday's highs was 121. Yesterday's highs is at $92. Interesting. Alright, so if you're gonna short AMD, $89 is support. Below 89, we're looking at 84.83, and with 85.40 as a small support. So these are the levels to watch out for in AMD. Thanks, mate. No worries. No worries at all. Nvidia, what's it doing? Oh, we're still positive on Nvidia. Interesting. Before looking into Nvidia, I gotta look at the semiconductors ETF to see what it's doing actually. Right, so we got rejected at the highs of yesterday again, so interesting. Right, so if we break under 230, oh, semiconductors also filled the gap yesterday, which they failed to do it like a few days back. We filled the gap on SMH as well, so if we break under 230, we can get down to 228, or we can come all the way down to run a test to 223. Volume is low. What's going on? Okay. Is it clear now? I hope it is. Right. So if you guys want to trade Nvidia, watch out for 230 and SMH, because this is the semiconductor ETF which actually tracks the semiconductor stocks like Taiwanese TSM, Qualcomm, Nvidia, AMD. The SMH tracks all these things. So if you guys want to go short on Nvidia, keep an eye out for this. If 230 got taken to the woodsheds, 228 will be next. If you break under 228, well, watch out for 223 to follow. What's going on with TSM? Which TSM is one of its major component, if you think about it. They're looking pretty good. Like they held on to 86.25 as support. They're pushing higher. They're above the 50 SMA as well. So watch out for 87.83. If we break under 86.22, it can come down to $85, or it can come all the way down to 84.42 in TSM. So all the semiconductors are looking the same, to be honest. So TSM, one of its major holding. It kind of cock blocked me over here when I was expecting it to go down to fill the gap over here. It just bounced off from 73.88. Well, gotta wait and see if we can do it again when we get another low on September. That's how baby Meta doing. Alright, we're bouncing. Nice. $157. So this will be a nice place for you guys to consider getting out of the complete position. And we out. I'm not gonna risk anything. As I said, it's just a scalp and should be treated as a scalp and not as a swing trade. Should be treating this trade with a scalp trader's mindset. We see money, we take it, and we move on to the next trade. And how do you feel on Meta? So as I said, like we're talking about this until now. So in the daily chart, you can see there are a few lows which has been made, which is at 155.06 and another low at 154.23. So I did have a position over here at 155.40-ish, and I completely got out of it just now, like few minutes back, and I just sent out to the people to completely get out of the longs. If you want a short Meta, the best thing for you to do is wait for it to break under 154.27. If you break under 154.27, you can short it. You think this is more bearish? It is actually more bearish, but we are sitting at support. There's no point in shorting the stock when it's sitting right at support though. So it'll be better for you to wait until 154 is taken out, and then you can short it all the way to 150. That's the next support. What is it at? Yeah, 150 is the next support. So wait for it to break under 154, because there's always a probability that they will just hold this as support and start bouncing, provided the broader market cooperates. If we do that, then like, yeah, there is like no point in shorting it here. So I would say if you want to go short on Meta, if you're bearish on Meta, which as you should be after seeing that earnings report, I understand, but wait for 154 to be taken out and you can have a nice trade, a nice waterfall to 150. So for now, what we're going to do is pretty simple, all right? We're just going to keep an eye out for SPY. And if you guys are still in Meta, I gave you the numbers. I mean, let me just type it in here. If you want to go bearish, 154 and below, bearish. Until then, in sidelines or long scalps. So that's what I was looking at, and we are already done with the long scalps, by the way, so don't chase it. And until now, let's see how the rest of the day goes. If SPY recaptures 400 or not, we should see. I don't think it's going to, but if it happens, well, we can make a case that this might be just a temporary bottom for Meta at least. So let's go over the watch list to see what sectors are outperforming today. And for today, utilities is outperforming. Industrials are, oh, interesting. Industrials are green. What's going on? Did any stocks which is under industrials has earnings today, like Caterpillar or whatever it is? Gotta see, because that is suspicious. Okay. Oh, Caterpillar is positive. John Deere. No, they don't. Okay, it's kind of interesting to see industrials outperform after the GDP data. So the utilities is the only sectors, followed by biotech. These are the only two sectors which is outperforming the markets today. Not biotech, materials, my bad. So technology is down. Oh, biotech is taken to the woodsheds. Materials and utilities are doing good. Biotech is absolutely taken to the woodsheds here. Jesus. Right, SPY is not holding on to 400 here. We are pushing lower. So what's the next number to watch out for? So if you guys are new here, like I know in the morning notes, I've been sending out yeses every morning. It's kind of a lot of things to go over, I understand, but I wanted to go over what I actually mean by all these numbers, right? So you can see this is the morning notes. So the SPY numbers to watch out for day trade or scalp. So I gave a certain numbers for support, which is 401.44, 400, 398, and 395. So this is how we should treat it. So resistance is at 402.88. So where did we get rejected at today? We rejected exactly at, what's the highest of today's candle? You can see it right over there, 402.88. I can't make this shit up. So the highest of today's candle is exactly at 402.75. So the point is, it doesn't have to be to the penny, but in that range, right? So if you get to that range, you can secure, I mean, you can set up shorts, and the next support level is at from 402.88. The next support is at where? 401.44. So that's one trade for you. So if you break under 401.44, you can add another contract, ride it to 400. So if you break under 400, you can add another contract to ride it to 398, followed by 395.73. That's how it works. But the only reason why I don't give out trades like, oh, buy puts over here, buy calls over here, if I do that, there is no point, because let's say tomorrow I just feel like, yeah, fuck it, I'm just gonna leave. So what's the point? So as long as I'm here, I just want to make sure, like, to know the importance of numbers are important. Numbers are important, and you can do whatever you want with it. You can manipulate the numbers, and you can take the trades, different multiple types of trades. Some people, if you're from UK or whatever different countries, you can't do options, right? So you can't do options. I can't go ahead calling out like, take this put of the strike. Yeah, you can't do that. They trade with stocks, they short with stocks. So at that time, regardless of what trades you take, numbers are important. So if you took the trade on SPY with a rejection at 402.88 in the morning, you already caught like $3 from the top wherever you shorted. So the next level to watch out for right now is a 398-ish level. So if you break under 398, we can get all the way down to 395, 396.81 or 395. So the numbers matters, risk management matters. I mean, if you guys want me to call out the trades like I take this call, I take this put, it never works out that way. And all I'm doing is just like looking at the charts and trading with the numbers, whatever I gave. So I'm putting it out there. So if you guys want to make use of it, just like open the chart, put these numbers on the charts, and then you can just trade it on your own. So trading it on your own and learning from your own mistakes is way better than blindly following someone, if you ask me. That's what I think. That's what I believe. Hey, Charlie is here. What's up, Charlie? Thanks for joining in. How you been? Bloody day indeed. Would it be funny if we just erased all the gains whatever we made yesterday? Nasdaq down 4%, SPY down like what, 2.5%. That'll be something fun to watch. So let's see. Are you trading any futures today? ES. So yeah, if you guys are into trading SPY, and if you guys are only trading SPY for all this time, consider looking into ES, so you don't have the pattern day trading bullshit or whatever it is. So you can trade whenever you want. It's 23/7. I mean, if you just woke up at 4 o'clock and you have work at somewhere around like 9 o'clock or something, you can just trade in between 4 to 5, 4 to 9 or whatever it is, and you can just get to work and call it a day. So look into futures trading. It's pretty good. It does have its own risk, but if you are experienced with SPY, I would highly recommend looking into futures as well. So ES is testing 4,000 here, and it's barely holding on to it. So if you break under 4,000, that's going to be really interesting, because you can get to 39.81. Alright, Jenny, so she's here as a Patreon. Thank you for joining. Patreon is doing some weird shit, man, I'm not gonna lie. Like, whenever people join, it's not assigning them enough roles, and there is no way. There's no way for me to know like who just joined the Patreon and who just joined this thing. I hope Patreon fixes that for me. It's like just annoying after a point, because as we are growing, if we get to like 100 or 200 in Patreon, it's just almost impossible for me to like nitpick every single person to give them roles, and sometimes it just get missed out. So if you guys are in here, and if you guys are the members of Patreon, and if you can't see the private channels, kindly let me know in the chat, so I can just like give the roles personally, because it's just Patreon is just fucking things up. That's what's happening. I don't know if I got to do something from my end, but I have no idea. We tried to fix it, it worked before, but again we're back to square one. Hello, you're absolutely right. That's how I'm learning. Exactly, right? That's what matters. Like, we got to learn, and once we learn, like, we can just trade on our own money on our own time. So we don't have to be dependent on anyone. So use people to get different opinions, use different traders to get different opinions, and then like once you trade, you'll be coming to your own opinions, you'll be formulating your own opinions, your own thesis, right? So that's how you learn. Like you take different opinions and you form your own, and then you kind of modify your opinion into what's right and what's wrong. So it's a long process, but it works. But as long as it works, I don't care how long it takes. So that type of thing. I'm new here. What is ES? ES is the futures contracts for S&P 500. So you see SPY here. Let me show you. So we are looking at the 30-minute chart here. So these two are similar, all right? ES is the E-mini S&P 500. That's what it stands for. So it is actually the futures contract. Whenever people say like futures are down, whenever people say futures are up, this is what they're talking about. ES is what they're talking about in S&P 500. So this you can trade like 23/7. So if you wake up in the morning at 4, if you want to trade, you can do it. So if you like just came home from work at 9 o'clock or whatever it is, you can trade it still then. So you can trade it whenever you want, instead of just like 9 to 5, like 9 to 4, like what do you do for SPY. And also you don't have to worry about pattern day trading, and you don't have to worry about it because you can trade like multiple times a day. You can trade like, if you want to trade 100 times, which I wouldn't recommend, that's the quickest way to lose your money, but you can do it. You can trade like 100 times in the same day. So it doesn't have the pattern day trading rules. You don't have to have $25,000 in your account to like trade this or whatever it is. The brokerage which I use just need $400 to get you started. Once you have the $400, you can just trade futures. Yeah, I mean it does have its own risk reward though. But let's say in SPY, if you're grabbing a put option for like $200, the maximum you can lose in that option is $200 if things go tits up, right? If SPY just rips higher after you get the put, and yeah, you lost like $200, who cares, right? But in futures, if you went short, and it's not like options, it's like contracts. In my brokerage, you need $50 in margin in order to take one contract of E-mini S&P 500. All right. So let's say you went short over here. You went short at $4,000, and then like the ES just tanked completely to like $39.80. So you captured $20 in profit. So technically, you need $50 to enter the trade. For every point move, you make $5. All right. If you went short at 4,000 and it goes to like 3,999, you make like $5. And if it goes down all the way to like 39.80, yeah, that's $100 right there. So that's how it is. So it's like you make $5 and you lose $5 for every single dollar move. And you can trade it anytime you want. It's just you can either go long or you can either go short. You don't have to worry about theta decay. You don't have to worry about the delta or whatever it is, because theta decay doesn't exist. The only thing which matters in futures is the direction. If you get the direction right, you make money. If you didn't get it right, you lose money. That's where stop losses come in. In case of futures, you can lose like your entire account because the losses are technically unlimited, right? For example, if you went in and if you went short at 4,000 and right now it's at 4,008, and if you don't have shorts on, and let's say it just rips to like 4,054, well, you lost, like, there is no cap in how much you lose. That's why they have the $50 margin. Let's say you have a $1,000 account and you watched it go all the way to like 4,100 or whatever it is, right? Once you get to that $50 margin, they'll stop you out. That's it, your account is wiped out. So that's the risk which involves with futures. That's where the stop losses come in. Trading futures will actually teach you more about risk management than trading regular options with regular brokerages, if you ask me, because the losses, the amount of money which you can actually lose is way higher in futures when compared to that of the regular options. So something for you guys to give it a try. So if you guys are new, if you guys want to explore something, just give it a try with like $400. So it will teach you a lot. So it's a new way of, like, you know, trading. It's something to add on to your arsenal. What broker is that? I think Charlie uses TraderWet and I use Ninja Trader. So let me see if I can share the link in the description. Just a minute. So this is what Charlie uses in our Discord for trading futures. You can actually connect this brokerage directly to your trading view, so you can just trade directly from there. So this is the first one. Let me see. So this is the one which Charlie uses, and you can open an account there and you can just start trading. And I would recommend this better than what I'm gonna post here, because this shit, setting up this NinjaTrader shit, is a pain in the ass. So this is what I use. So if you guys are interested in futures trading, or like you want to explore something new, you can go ahead and give this a try, these two a try. So this is not a promotion code or whatever it is, like I don't even give a shit. So these two are like just for you guys to try something out new. So you can go ahead, give it a try, and if it didn't work out, it didn't work out. So in our Discord, we have a separate chat for futures as well. So if you guys need any help over there, you can come and talk to us over there, and we can help you out as well over there as well. So we have a lot of people who actually trades futures, and yeah, it's something to keep an eye out for, because when you are like, let's say you're having long positions, in a share, and then the market just crashed overnight. So you need something to hedge your long positions. You need some way to make your money back with the futures, instead of just sitting ducks and worrying about the fact that, oh my god, I'm losing money, I can't do anything. Yeah, and if you can actually, like, you know, hedge your positions with futures, well, provided if you're doing it right. I mean, you can lose money over there and you can lose money over here as well, but still, it gives you an opportunity to redeem the losses overnight sessions, because you can trade at 23/7. The only time which you can't trade this is at 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. That's the only time which you can't trade this, in the evening, because the futures markets will be closed at that time. At any time after that, you can trade at 23/7. It's totally up to you, and it's closed, of course, on Saturdays, and it opens at Sunday evening at 6 o'clock. So if you have work or whatever it is, and if you can't focus on the markets, because I've seen a lot of people complain that I got busy with work, so I couldn't close my contracts on time, so I lost all my profits or whatever it is. So with futures, you can set your time on when you trade. So it's totally up to you. So give it a try. I highly recommend it. Once the market is closed, I will send out some introductory videos. If I can, I'll make one this weekend, so we can just like dive deeper into it. So I'd highly recommend it, especially if you have experience with SPY. It's exactly the same thing. So instead of buying a put option which like decays in value every single day, and you got to get it right with time, and you got to get it right with price, you are just eliminating all those uncertainties by just like getting into futures. So it does have its downside, but overall, if you ask me, it's pretty good. Go ahead, check it out, open an account, give it a try. Let me know if you have any questions. So what's Meta doing? Did it break down yet? What's going on? Nope, still hanging around. Yes, TradeAway is good. I connected that to my brokerage with my trading view. That way I don't have to get back and forth with platforms. I suggest paper trading for a while and first and get exactly. I think me and Charlie paper traded for like what, 2.5 months or 3 months before like even putting our own money into it. That is insane, because like with futures it's completely different. The risk is way higher because you can lose everything in one contract. So you gotta have the proper mindset. So make sure to paper trade first, as Charlie said. So you're not losing a shit tons of money just like that just by beginning. So paper trading is important. You gotta know how it is. So TradeAway is actually better than NinjaTrader. If you ask me, NinjaTraders are just fucking scums. They won't give you basic features over there for free. You got to pay for their lease. You're already putting $400 in your brokerage account. In addition to that, you got to pay $1,000 for their lease in order to get all the features which they have on their website. Absolutely ridiculous. So I would recommend TradeAway. It's way better. It's way simpler to use. So in that way, you can just use your trading view and you can just trade from there directly. You can trade from your phone as well. With NinjaTrader, you can't do that. If you want to download the phone app, you need to have you need to pay them another like $300 to open a phone app. It's absolute nonsense. So check out TradeAway. So if you guys like pain, then check out NinjaTrader. So it's totally up to you. But the margin, I think the margin is pretty much same, I guess, right? From the TradeAway and NinjaTrader, you just need like $50 to open a contract. Yeah, you can ask Charlie. Like, I think in the Discord, if you can see, his name is Westside Charlie. You can just mention him. You'll just post it under resource section whenever he has time. So we'll try to post it under the resource section, and he will help you out. Come if you guys are a part of my Discord, you can just like come to ES and NQ Futures, and you can ask your questions over there, and me, Richard, or JSR over there will help you out. No worries. I think you can do it similarly like this. I think I can show you here. I don't know why I'm doing too much. So if you scroll this up, there is something called as trading panel. Oh, go away. What are you doing? Yeah, there's something called as like the trading panel underneath, if you can see it over here. So once you click on the brokerage page over here, it'll take you to the brokerage which you needed to connect. So you can just trade station is here, trade away is right over here, and once you click on more, and you can it'll just tell you the ways on, just tell you what to do to connect to your brokerage directly, connect to your trading view directly before taking the trade. It's pretty simple. So for now, it's just a floater operation that's been going on. Volume is pretty light as well. So let's see how the rest of the day goes. For now, 397 is next. 397.50. As long as we stay below 400, that's the next level to watch out for in SPY. Let me close this. What other companies reported earnings yesterday? We had Enphase. Did they report yesterday or day before yesterday? I think it's day before yesterday. We had Meta reporting earnings, and what other companies? We got to see how they're performing. That's fine. How is HD doing? Did we break under? All right, we are under 300 in HD. It opened stores for 294. All right, interesting. We should have seen this at the open. Fuck, we missed it. Okay, it is what it is. It's all good. Alright, what is Goldman Sachs doing? Alright, Goldman Sachs is still chilling over here. Let's see. What's the lows of yesterday? Lows of yesterday is at $318. So let's see the daily chart. We're still struggling at the 320 level, 328. Alright, looks like 397 is a magnet here for SPY for now. And again, if you guys went short at the open, lower your stops to 398. Sorry, lower your stops to 399. So technically you're securing $3 in profit right now, regardless of what happens. And if you guys want to scale out at 397, you can scale out, or you can just keep lowering your stop losses until your stops gets you kicked out. There are two ways of doing this, so you don't have to worry about selling too early. Just lower the stops as it goes. As it goes lower, lower your stops, lower your stops, lower your stops. So when it goes higher, you can always get stopped out with a nice profit. But if it goes lower and lower and lower again and again and again, so you can always make a lot of money. Apple dying. What's going on over there? Yep, I'm looking at it right now. 397.50 is next. Let's put SPY in the main thing. Alright, so watch out for 397.98. So that's important. So let's see. I won't be surprised if we come all the way down to 395, by the way. It's still possible. QQQ is looking way worse right now. And we just gave away all the gains which we made yesterday before the Fed announcement. If we get to like 395, 78 or whatever it is, yeah, that will be done over. Chewy, what's going on over there in Chewy? Oof, what the hell happened here? Wow. How did we miss this? Fucking hell. 39 to 36 and still got room to go. We can get to like $35, $36. Right, so what's the ATR? ATR is $2.90. We moved more than $2.90, which will be like 36.10. Right, like you can look into long positions over here, but yeah, if at $36 for scalp, and I wouldn't be surprised if they come down because Chewy has the history of moving more than 180 hours. So we got to see. Like I'll be going long. I've offered at 33.79, like at the 50 SMA. That's a decent thing. Oh, okay. For example, 71 cents. All right. So if depends on where you got it. Let's say you got the 400 puts when SPY was trading at 402 at 71 cents, let's say, and your delta in these contracts are like $25. All right. So if SPY goes down $1, you'll be making $25. So technically, that contract will be worth like around 71 plus 25 is $96 right now, right? And then when its SPY goes to 400 again, when you go in the money, the delta will be increased to like $40, let's say. And now the current contract is worth 136. So technically, you should look at your delta. If you know about options Greeks, click on your contract and check the delta out. If your delta is 40, and make sure to lower the options price to the amount which matches the amount of your delta. That's what I meant. Like lower your stops to 398 in the sense like, just like if the current option price is worth like $150, set your stops lower to like 120. If your entry cost is at 71 and currently it's at 150, lower your stops to 120. So which means if SPY goes to 398, potentially you'll be losing like $40, but you still already secured like $50 in profit. So yeah, that's how you do it. I wish there is a way to like these option contracts, you can do it with the stock price, but this is the complicated way, and this is the only way if you ask me. So you got to keep an eye out for delta, match the delta with the premium, and then set the stops over there. Do not go with options percentage because that can route you out real quick. You can get stopped out real quick if you set stops like 10% or 20% or whatever it is. Go with the price, it always works out. Looks like QQQ is headed right to 300. Let's see. Alright, so if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, check out the Discord, check out the Patreon, link is down below in the description. For now, it is just quite dull. We're just slowly melting lower and lower and lower and lower. Interesting. SPY is sitting right at 398, so let's see. The morning pump was an amazing bull trap, by the way. They just lured back in all the bulls and then like smacked them right across the face. There goes QQQ for the next leg lower. All the markets move the same. If you see what happened yesterday, we had the same thing. We got rejected at the same place at July 22nd. And you saw what happened, and right now we got rejected at the same place. Are we gonna go all the way down to like, well, 293? We'll never know. Guess we should wait and watch. So the price is under 400 again. Have you guys like get this feeling like this looks like, as Michael Burry just tweeted, he was like, this seems like the last hurrah rally before the market completely collapses. Of course he said that. It's kind of like funny to me how market just brushes off almost everything. Most of it is already priced in, because like the 75 basis points, market already knows about it. The recession, market already knows about it. We already headed into a recession. But what I don't agree with is these idiots gaslighting us into thinking that the definition of the recession is wrong. Yeah, that I'm not okay with. well, whatever, enough about my bitching. Let's go back to the market. When should I jump on a SPY put? I'm surprised that you still didn't get in. Watch out, even if you still didn't get in, like wait for 398 to break. If it 398 breaks, you can trade it to like 396. The thing is, like, if you want to get in right now, your stops is at 400. If you get a 400 test, you can go short again. For now, you can see 398 is still holding as support. Like if I remove all the indicators, let me remove everything, you can clearly see where the price is sitting at right now. It's currently sitting at the 398 levels. If you break under 398, you can just go all the way short to like 395.78, which is another important level. So we can either do this for the rest of the day. We can do this, push higher all the way to 400 and then come back down lower, and then 395, test it lower. Something like that can happen. But until that, you see that, well, you can short it at 400 levels, which is 400 or 401.44. If you went short at 400, you can set your stops at 401.44 and then like let it right to the downside again to like 397. So it's totally up to you. Again, same for going long. If you want to go long here at 398, set your stops at breaking under 397.50. Once it breaks under 397.50, there is a high probable chance that we're going to go all the way down to like 395 to the downside. For now, it's just range bound between 400 to 398. Can you check Meta? As I said before, we held on to that support and we held on to one. What the hell? I'm sorry, my bad. Alright, so as I said before, like these levels are still important. 155 held and we pushed higher, and 156 is holding. Now there is a high probable chance that they just like gonna keep doing like a floater operation over here until the overall broader market decide what it wants to do. If broader market pushes higher, this might as well be the bottom, and they'll just push higher from the bottom of the range all the way to run a test to 157.99 or 158. As I said in the morning, don't go short until you see this level broken down. 156 never broke down. We closed candle above it. We came back, run a test to 156 and we held. So 156 is pretty important level, and so is 155, which is the low. So no point in going short until like we break these three levels. So until then, stay on the sidelines or stay long until 158. So if you have any particular question about Meta, let me know. I can see if I can help you out with it. So this is my broader view on what I see from the chart. For now, I can see it running a test to $158 provided QQQ runs higher. And until that happens, yeah, there's no trade over here. We can erase this. You can see. Yeah, there we go. 400 test again. Looks like ES held 4,000. Is that what happened there? Yep, ES held on to 4,000 and we're bouncing. So we need to wait for ES to take 4,000 to the woodsheds before like even considering any other thing to do. It's just gonna hang around over here and there, or like just doing nothing. It's just gonna be a floater operation between 400 in SPY and 4,000 in ES, which is 398 in SPY. I want to show you guys the importance of knowing the numbers. If you guys can see over here, these lines have been here forever. You can see where we get the bounce from exactly. 398. So that's important level. We touched it, we bounced. Now this gap is this red zone, whatever you're seeing, that's the gap. So in this gap we have a small resistance at 400, which is a psychological number. If you go above 400, watch out for 401.44, which is the top of the gap. If you go above it, watch out for the highs, which is at 402.88 and then 403.96. So if you went short in the morning, you would have been stopped out right now at $399 and you captured like $3 in the premiums and you would have gotten out with a nice profit. And now what you're going to do is you're going to wait to see how it reacts at $400. And if you want to take a chance there, you can take the chance there, which stops at 401.44. So technically you're risking like $1.44 in order to make, let's say 400 minus 398 or like 395, in order to make like around like $4. You're risking $1.44 to make $4. So it's like 70-30 risk to reward. It's pretty good. We're just doing this bearish flaggish thing over here in smaller time frames. That doesn't mean much. It doesn't have to work out all the time, but something to keep an eye out for. You can clearly see it. Okay, let me just remove the rest. All we're doing right now is just consolidating in a bearish flaggish pattern in the smaller time frames. If this bearish flaggish pattern breaks to the downside, we can easily come down to 395. How do you get the level, Mario? It's just the levels which we've been bounced off of on the previous days, previous years, previous months. That's all it is. So the red box came from, if you go to the daily chart and SPY, if you take a look at June 9th and then June 10th, you can see a huge gap down in the charts. All right. So I just marked that gap over there. The bottom of this candle is currently at 401.44. That's why 401.44 is very important. That also marked the gap fill. The bottom of the highs of this candle is currently sitting at 395.78. That's why I said 395.78 is important. So if we go to the smaller time frame, you can clearly see how these levels acted as supports and resistance multiple times. So you can see the 395.78, right? That level, like we got rejected at the same place on July 25th, and we got rejected at the same place again at the closing bell of July 25th and got pummeled down all the way to 390. We went higher, we got rejected the first time, we broke through yesterday and then came back down, run a test as support, and after Federal Reserve minutes happened when Fed was speaking, we came back down to run a test and then pushed exactly to where? All the way to fill this gap at 400, and then now we're coming back down to 398. Now it's pretty simple, isn't it? Like if we break under 398, we are going to come back down. It's pretty clear. There is a high probability that we come back down to 395.78. If we break under 395.78, you know what's the next level is? Right over here, 393.88. That's the lows of that's the opening print of yesterday. So you just got to go back and see the important levels where the market bounced off of from multiple times, and you're just taking a high probable or educated guess saying that will happen at the same time again. There is a high probability that it will happen again. So that's all you're doing. So it's just a lot of trial and error. I've been trading SPY for the past like 2.5 years or something like that. So it's like the trial and error of 2.5 years. And then when I started trading ES, I used the SPY levels to match it with the ES, and then tweaked it, made some changes, and then we are where we are at this moment. So it takes a while. That's why when I give out the numbers, it'll be better to just mark it in the charts and tweak it as the day progresses, and so that like you get as accurate as numbers as possible, because you can't be accurate 100% of the time, but you can be accurate 80% of the time, and that's a very good hit ratio. The point is not to be right all the time. The point is just like to use proper risk management and take high probability trades. Even if you lose, you're not losing a lot of money, but if you win 80% of the time. That's all it is. The 398 level is important because that was the highs which we made on March 17th of 2021 before having a massive crash of like 5%. So that's why it's important. 395 is 398 is important because of that, and 393.88 is important because of the Feb 16, 2021 debacle. Every time the price tested these levels, it's followed by a massive downside in SPY and QQQ. So whenever you see a price testing a particular level and then got rejected and pull back to a massive extent, you know that a level is important leading into the future. So that's what's going on at this moment. You can see we had a nice bounce of 398. If you went long over there, you would have made like $2 in profits in scalp. In options terms, that is like what, 40 bucks? Like 40 bucks for each dollar move. It's like $80 move and you'll be out. So if you guys enjoy the content, leave a like, subscribe, join the Discord, join the Patreon. As always, like same thing, do all that thing, because as you don't have to pay money to support the channel. So subscribing is the biggest support you can offer. Thank you so much. Alright, so that being said, you guys know the levels right now. So if you want to go short on SPY, 400, important. And if with the stops at 401.44, if we break above 401.44, watch out for 402.80, which we got rejected at in the morning. About that, we're looking at 404. If we break under 398, watch out for 395.72, 395.78 to be tested. Below that, 394 will come by really quick. Follow the price, take high probability trades, manage the risk wisely. Thank you so much for joining. I gotta get ready for my 9 to 5. I will see you guys in the next video, most likely tomorrow. Take care guys, thank you so much for joining.